Hi, welcome back. Today we are going to learn about environmental management accounting, which is environmental costs and benefits.
Before we start, I'm gonna introduce my group member. The first one, me myself, Wan Azrin. The second presenter, Siti Zulaiha. The third presenter, Nur Nisa Shahira. And the last presenter is Nur Saida Sakina.
Okay, the first one is environmental management accounting. It is the identification, collection, analysis and use of two types of information for internal decision making. The benefits are improved sales over reduced sales erosion, reduced cost of failure, and lastly is improved organization's image. The next one is environmental management system. It is an organization's strategy to implement its environmental policy and address governmental regulations. The next one is developed in compliance with ISO 14001 standard. And lastly is focus resources on meeting the commitments identified in the organization's policy. The benefits of environmental management systems. The first one is positive effect on environmental compliance and performance. The second one is improved environmental awareness, involvement and competency. The third one is better communication inside and outside of the lab. The fourth one is improved efficiency, delay avoidance, reduced cost, and greater consistency. Last one is better relationship with regulators and surrounding community. ISO 14001. It is an international standard for EMS intended to provide organizations with the elements of an effective environmental management system. It is to protect the environment and respond to changing environmental conditions in balance with socio-economic needs, which can also be integrated with other management system requirements.
Environmental costs and benefits. Environmental costs are costs connected with the actual or potential deterioration of natural assets due to economic activities. Such costs can be viewed from two different perspectives, namely as cost, that is, costs associated with economic units actually or potentially causing environmental deterioration by their own activities, or as cost borne, that is, costs incurred by economic units independently of whether they have actually caused the environmental impacts. Environmental benefits mean all the benefits enjoyed by the organization from action taken to reduce the impact on environment. Next, we move into 5 tiers of environmental costs. First is conventional costs. Can be found in the accounting system of most organizations. Direct costs associated with capital expenditures, raw materials, and other operating and maintenance costs. Tier 2, hidden costs, includes the cost of monitoring and reporting activities to comply with the regulations. Hidden regulatory costs from activities such as monitoring and reporting of environmental activities and emissions, costs of searching for environmentally responsible suppliers, and the ongoing cost of cleaning up the environmental land. Tier 3, contingent costs, costs that may be incurred in future, contingent liabilities arising from failure to clean up contaminated sites, and fines and penalties for non-compliance with regulations. Tier 4, relationship and image costs, reflect perceptions of various stakeholders, which are rarely measured in standard information systems and are difficult to measure objectively. And last tangible costs and benefits that relate to consumer perceptions and employee and community relations. Tier 5, societal costs, the costs that organizations impose on others, which are the environment and society, for which they may not be held legally responsible and which cannot be compensated for in the legal system. Next, we will move to the Total Quality Environmental Management (TQEM). TQEM is structured around the two management concepts of TQM and EMS. It brings their two management approaches together to support the company's business, and in doing so, aims to overcome the independent EMS and TQM operations that lead to competitive demand for resources or priority attention. TQM provides a solution for more effective interaction between TQM and EMS. Thus, implementing TQM and EMS systems has become a lively topic of research and practice. The concept of TQM was suggested by the Quality Environmental Management Initiatives. The objectives are to reduce waste and improve continuously, reduce resources depletion, reduce or eliminate environmental pollution, design products for minimal environmental impact in production, use and disposal, control environmental impact of new raw material sourcing, control environmental impact of new developments, promote environmental awareness among employees, and promote environmental awareness within the community.
Components of COQ can be divided by two, which is cost of conformance and cost of non-conformance. Cost of conformance describes the amount of resources needed to achieve the quality requirements and targets of a project. The underlying rationale is to spend money on the prevention of quality issues rather than for fixing them. Cost of conformance consists of two components, which are prevention cost and appraisal cost. For the cost of non-conformance is used as a synonym for failure cost. It refers to the resources that are required to fix failures and take corrective actions, but also to indirect effects from quality issues such as negative business impact. Cost of non-conformance consists of two elements, which are internal failure cost and external failure cost. It is also referred as failure cost. And here is the formula of COQ. 4 types of quality. Number 1, appraisal cost. Cost of activities executed to determine products, process, and other activities within the firm are in compliance with appropriate environmental standards. For example, supervision of testing and inspecting environment. Number 2, prevention cost. Cost of activities carried out to prevent the production of contaminants and or waste that could cause damage to the environment. Example, obtaining ISO 14001 certificate, monitoring and maintaining DV environmental costs. Number 3, internal failure cost. Cost of eliminating environmental impacts that have been created by the organization, also known as costs that incurred from performing activities that have produced contaminants and waste that has not been discharged into the environment. For example, operating pollution prevention. And last but not least, external failure cost. Costs incurred after environmental damage has been caused outside the organization, also known as costs that incurred on activities performed after discharging waste into the environment because effective products are provided to customers. For example, cost of field servicing and handling complaints.
This is some of the example in prevention costs, appraisal costs, internal failure costs, and external failure costs that we can find in the environmental cost report. You can pause this video to read and take note. The QEM report is a report that highlighted the environmental transaction and events that are likely to affect the financial position of an enterprise. The QEM report is very essential if an organization is serious about improving its environmental performance and controlling environmental costs. A good report is a report that details the environmental costs by its categories. This way, it is easier to give managerial attention on a significant amount needs to be reduced or eliminated. TQEM behave in the same way as TQM. The lowest environmental costs are attainable at zero damage point, the same as zero defect point of TQM, which means the goal is to find an approach that would lead to the lowest total cost. This can be achieved by investing more in prevention and appraisal activities in which it will bring a significant reduction in environmental failure costs and also benefits to the company. Why an organization need to produce TQEM report? This is because customers nowadays are increasingly interested in the environmental and social impact of businesses. Producing an environmental report can bring a marketing advantage by demonstrating business awareness of its environmental responsibilities. It may also help improve relationship with key stakeholders such as investors, suppliers, and the wider local community. Furthermore, potential job applicants increasingly look at the environmental performance of a business they are thinking about to work for. In addition, they may find it easier to retain the existing staff if a company produces a report that clearly demonstrates the environmental performance. Next, environmental reporting should focus on business attention on environmental performance. Typically, this will result in improved performance, which should lead to cost saving. Last but not least, environmental report benefits for legal compliance. It refers to large and medium companies who must produce annual business review which must incorporate a fair review of the company's businesses and a description of the principal risks and uncertainties facing the company. It also refers to the large companies which must use environmental key performance indicator to report on environmental matters, where these are necessary to understand the development, performance, or position of the company. Let's evaluate this environmental financial report of Vert Corporation for you to understand more on this topic. The first part is environmental benefits. As you can see, this company divides its environmental benefit into three parts, which is income source, ongoing savings, and current saving. Income source or additional revenue are revenue that flow into the organization due to environmental action such as recycling paper, increase in sales due to an enhanced environmental image, and finding new application for non-hazardous waste such as using wood scrap to make board. Ongoing saving or cost avoidance refers to an ongoing saving of costs that had been paid in prior year. Current saving refers to reduction in environmental costs achieved in the current year by comparing benefit produced with environmental costs incurred in a given period. A type of environmental statement is produced. Managers can use this statement to assess progress, which the benefit produced, and potential for progress, which is the environmental costs. Moving on to environmental costs. Environmental costs have two parts, which is conformant costs and non-conformant costs. Conformant costs involve prevention costs and appraisal costs, while non-conformant costs involve internal and external failure costs. This company used the formula of prevention costs plus appraisal or detection costs plus internal failure costs plus external failure costs to calculate the total environmental cost. From the report, it is found that the combination of prevention activities and detection activities had a lesser value and percentage compared to the combination of internal and external failure activities. Vert Corporation spent 20% on conformant costs compared to non-conformant costs, which is 80%. Therefore, Vert Corporation should provide more investment in the prevention and detection activities so that the waste generated do not pollute the internal and external environment. In conclusion, as the creator of TQM, I would quote, in a well-organized system, all the components work together to support each other. In a system that is well led and managed, everybody wins. If by bad management the component become competitive, the system is destroyed. Everybody loses. That is all from us. Thank you for listening.